Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome and thank you so much for coming on this Patriots Day to our official America 250 flag raising. My name is the Reverend Emily Heath. I'm the pastor of the Congregational Church next door, but I'm here in my capacity as a member of the town's Exeter 250 Commission. This is a group of your fellow citizens and members of your local government who have been working to make sure that on this 250th anniversary of the founding of our country, we are upholding all the wonderful values that this country was founded to preserve for all people. And so this is a time to celebrate what is wonderful in our nation and to commit to making it a more perfect union in all the ways that we can. So we are going to begin today. We are pleased to welcome from both Exeter High School and Lincoln Street School members of their choruses who will be singing the national anthem. I invite you, as you feel so moved, to render proper respect during the anthem. Thank you.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose bright stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Fantastic job. Thank you all so very much. We appreciate it. For the celebration of America's 250, our local Daughters of the American Revolution worked with the Exeter Literary Festival to have a special poem written. And I'm going to invite Renee Allen from both the Literary Festival and the DAR to come up and tell us a little more about that.
Hello, everybody. Yes, my name is Renee. I am the leader of the Exeter chapter of the Daughters of the American Revolution. Yeah! We are a nonpartisan women's service organization that has been serving the greater Exeter area for over 125 years. The Exeter chapter is 75 members strong, drawing from all 13 surrounding towns that we serve. Each member of the DAR can trace their roots back to a man or a woman who contributed to the Revolutionary War. Me, I have two ancestors who fought at Bunker Hill, James Andrews of Essex, Massachusetts, and James Patch of Hamilton, Mass. In just a minute, we'll hear about an Exeter man who fought at Bunker Hill. Reverend Emily, who just spoke, recently submitted her DAR application. She can trace her lines to Amos Dennis, a mariner out of Marblehead. Now, if you want to learn about Exeter's Revolutionary War soldiers, some of you have a map in your hand, and if you didn't get the map of the Winter Street Cemetery, there are some on the pole in the cemetery itself, which is located next door to what is called the Purple Dinosaur Playground. In addition to the DAR, I am also a founding board member of the Exeter Literary Festival, which just hosted its annual Festival of Authors here, April 4th, in the Town Hall. It was the 7th annual, and it's always free and open to the public. Now, back in 2025, the Litfesh commissioned this America 250 poem you're about to hear, using royalties from my local mystery books. This was to be read from the stage to kick off the 2026 Fest. Some time ago, I had met Boston poet Duran West during the research for my books. Now, Mr. West happens to be descended from Exeter's historical Black Revolutionary War era community, a community that was the largest in the state in 1790. Mr. West also happened to be a poet. like one of his famous ancestors, Exeter's abolitionist poet James Monroe Whitfield, who published in 1853. Whitfield was the actual nephew of the famous black soldier Jude Hall. Jude Hall was born into slavery in Kensington. At 18 years old, he escaped to enlist with men heading off to Bunker Hill. Jude served there and on for the full 8 years of the war, fighting in most of the major battles. He returned to Exeter, married, and raised a large family on Drinkwater Road at Jude's Pond. How many of you have heard of Jude's Pond, the walking trails? All right, that's Jude. He is also buried in the Winter Street Cemetery. For his full story, please look him up on Wikipedia. All right, back to the poem. The stipulations for this commemorative poem to be premiered at the Exeter Lit Fest were only this: 1, that it contained the word Exeter, and 2, that it had either the names of James Whitfield or Jude Hall. Mr. West accepted the challenge. He wrote the poem, America It Is to Thee, and received a standing ovation. It is a beautifully constructed and poignant poem that serves as a bridge from historical to modern times, as people of all stripes come together to celebrate 250 years of America. Are you ready to hear it? Yeah. Okay. Tanisha Johnson will read it. Tanisha was on the Exeter Lit Fest board, I think maybe in its second year, so she is the perfect person to read it. I'll tell you about Tanisha. Tanisha Johnson is a dedicated nonprofit leader, racial equity educator, and social justice advocate. In 2020, she founded Black Lives Matter Seacoast, and today she serves as the executive director of Black Lives Matter New Hampshire. She leads with vision, courage, and compassion to advocate for policy change, provide mutual aid, and educate communities across the state. Tanisha is actively engaged in numerous New Hampshire boards, committees, and task forces, bringing her expertise and voice to critical conversations around equity and systemic reform. Please welcome Tanisha Johnson.
Good morning. It is an honor to be here to read this poem by Doreen West. Feels so short. Okay. Quote by James Baldwin. I love America more than any country in this world, and exactly for this reason, I insist on the right to criticize her perpetually. This poem, America It Is to Thee, by Doreen West. Many battles don't make a man. Man makes battles, many battles though, within himself, wrestling moral compass. Battle tested with tested battles, some lost like the Battle of Bunker Hill. And he'll battle up hills, hill battles revealing still shadows. British authority controlling no more, untenable Boston, a beacon for democracy. Yet he'll saddle up a militia of men to field battle. Bombs bursting in the air, the fire working as an ode. America has a conflicted past, a road with vague parting in the grass. Denance Smith once said, "Ask not what your country can do for you, ask if your country is your country." And today of all days, I wonder, what makes a patriot? Are we not all patriots for loving a country even when it falls short? When all men created equal has exceptions and blind spots, feeling more aspirational than lived truth? Still today, home here is a metronome unsettled. Lights don't go off downtown to protect the spenders, stunned from the 75th floor, faintly making out the natives protesting and willing to die to create a world better when they left than when they entered. Our country, 'tis of thee, stars spangled from different backgrounds and communities. In the same way, liberation and service are woven into America's story. Sequestered in small towns like Exeter, where for some, exploring beyond state borders warrants fear of losing a life with freedom. Perhaps one day Jude Hall's resilience will be taught on local public school whiteboards as American history and not just Black history, with a flattering portrait of his face broadcast atop light posts on Main Street with no compromise, not 3/5 of his story carved on a hidden relic. We mustn't forget how this country breathes and what or where we all came from or how much we all bleed. We may look up today in hopes of hearkening back fond memories of our progression, our delusion of ever being a United States. 250 years of this pursuit of happiness, and maybe we have learned everyone will never be happy, grateful, or proud, struggling within themselves. If this is a treacherous hill, they are all willing to die upon. Thank you.
Thank you again to Tanisha, and thank you to BLM for their participation today as well, and to Mr. West for his poem. So we've come to the point in the celebration today. This is the big event. We're going to be taking the American flag back down to surface level, and then we're going to be attaching the America 250 flag. This flag is going to fly for the rest of the year under the American flag as a reminder that we are in this 250th year, and as a call to our best selves as citizens and countries. So I want to especially thank Exeter Public Works, who are going to do this work today. So I will hand it to them, and they may need assistance from some of you nearby. As he is preparing, once the flag begins to raise, we will hear the bells chiming from next door at the Congregational Church. And with that, we are pleased to declare that here in Exeter, the flag is flying and our official commemorations of America 250 have begun. And so to help us celebrate, we'll begin again with Exeter High and Lincoln Street School, who will be singing "This Land is Your Land."
This land is your land, this land is my land, from California to the New York Island, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. As I was walking
Fantastic job, y'all. Thank you so much for helping us celebrate today. And now, our last remarks today are going to come from two members of our select board. So if I could ask Mr. Papakonstantis, Nico Papakonstantis, to come forward. He is the chair of our select board.
Thank you very much, Pastor Emily. Good afternoon, everybody. Friends, neighbors, fellow citizens. My name is Nico Papakonstantis, and I have the honor and privilege of chairing the Exeter Select Board. Thank you all for gathering here today in the heart of Exeter, New Hampshire, the revolutionary capital of New Hampshire, a place where American independence was fiercely debated and where the spirit of liberty has always burned bright. Right here in Exeter 250 years ago, citizens like us accepted the extraordinary responsibility of imagining what government by the people could look like, and they put these ideas into writing. Though not perfect or final, the first written state constitution was indeed bold. The citizens of Exeter continue to play a vital role in the nation's history through their heroic achievements in the Revolutionary War. By the 19th century, Exeter was no longer the state capital, but remained vital in Rockingham County. Slow but steady growth brought Exeter its first bank, library, and police station. This town hall that we stand in front of this morning was built in 1855. The town style of government remains unchanged today, with the legislative body continuing to deliberate and vote at town meetings, and the governing body responsible for the stewardship of town property and tax dollars. In fact, many of the budgetary challenges they experienced then, we still experience today. It's incredibly exciting to begin a year-long celebration of our democratic heritage. Last year, the town of Exeter established an Exeter 250 Celebration Commission, tasking the volunteers appointed to the commission to organize and coordinate programs to celebrate the founding of the great experiment of democracy. Many exciting celebrations throughout this year are planned, with more to come, the dates and details of which may be found on the Commission's website. I would like to recognize and thank several people right now. I'd like to thank the Town Manager's Office, the Parks and Recreation Department, and the Public Works Department for working so collaboratively and cooperatively with the Exeter 250 Celebration Commission. I'd also like to thank and acknowledge the American Independence Center and the Exeter Historical Society for their long-standing partnerships with the town of Exeter. And I'd also like to thank the Exeter 250 Celebration Commission members, led by co-chairs Francoise Elise and Karen Pryor. Finally, and I'm bummed that they just left, but I wanted to thank the students who joined us this morning to celebrate the raising of the America 250 flag and celebrating Patriots Day. The message I wish they were here, the message I wish they were still here to hear is that they are our future leaders, and their participation from such a young age is vital to preserving our democracy. It is their generation in which I have complete confidence will continue to keep the spirit of freedom alive. Remember that 250 years ago, history was made right here in Exeter by citizens like us who stood demanding extraordinary change. Let us continue to honor their legacy. Thank you very much.
And I'm going to invite up Selectwoman Julie Gilman, who is the Select Board representative to the Commission.
Thank you, Pastor. And thank you all for being here. It's been a really special day. The crowd is not what I expected. It's much bigger than I expected. And the children coming out to join us was dramatic, I have to say. It was very moving. On behalf of the Commission, I would like to thank you all. I would like to thank the efforts of everyone that's been here to set up and who has been working on the different celebration pieces that we've been doing. And save the dates. There's 2 weeks in July coming up that we have plenty of things for you to come and participate in. One of the reasons, and I wish the children were still here too, that this is Patriots Day is because it's a commemoration of the battles of Concord and Lexington, and the shot heard around the world. That started in 1894-ish in Massachusetts, and it's caught on in most states, I will say. Exeter men were very proud when they heard the Lexington alarm a few days after the battle had started. And they heard the alarm and gathered about 45 men, marched down to Cambridge, which was the gathering point for New Englanders to participate in the siege of Boston, or help out in the siege of Boston. It took them 48 hours to get to Cambridge. And if you think about it now, we can drive in an hour. So they were hardy fellows that went down there and represented us in the beginning of our separation from the king. With that, I have no more fun facts. Nico stole them all. And I just want to thank you for coming, and enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you.
Thank you all for coming out today. As we close up, just a reminder, we do have a table over here. We have more information about what the 250th Commission is planning this year. There are going to be a lot of great events, especially in July of this year, and we'd love to tell you all about them. We also have the commemorative pins that people have been asking about. These are $10. We would be glad if you'd like to purchase one. We're trying to make sure that there is no burden on the taxpayers of Exeter for these celebrations. So if you want to help be someone who's making sure that we have wonderful events like this today, we would love to also allow you to have one of these great pins. And if you would like to sponsor in a bigger way, I am sure that Karen would love to talk to you about that as well. So finally, just thank you to the Lincoln Street School Choir, the Exeter High School choir members. We thank also the Department of Public Works, who did so much work with us today, Parks and Recreation here in Exeter, Exeter TV, and all the other organizations who participated. And thank you all of you for helping us to celebrate. And so now let us go and begin the celebration.